Sir, you have muted yourself.
I'm really sorry. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Okay, in this session, we will be covering how to add a storage driver, SBK driver, using a template. There is a new command in the last release, the latest release, 0.95, which I have added. So mainly to help the kind of people who are going to add their driver to SBK framework, especially the project that you people are already doing it. Are you able to listen?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I have added a new command, which is gradelew addDriver. This new driver will add the driver template. This will actually help the development of adding a new driver much faster than the manual one. So let's demo that. Let's see how to add that. Let's say I wanted to add one driver. Can somebody tell me which driver that you people are trying it out? I think each of your team. Sorry?
Java messaging service.
No, okay, let's not take that one. Any other one? Because the JMS is the inbuilt one. Any other one?
Apache accumulator.
Accumulator. Memcache. Okay. Let me take the Memcache D. It's a Memcache, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool. Let me add that. I will not going to add the full, I'm not writing a full driver here. I'm just showing you that how the template gets operated. Let's say if you want to add the driver and the parameter is what is actually your driver name. And let's say I'm giving the driver name as Memcache D or Memcache. Okay. Let me add this driver. Something went wrong. Wait a second. Sorry. Something else went wrong. Wait a second. Let me fix that. This is something added. Fine. How about it? Something was wrong. Okay. Okay, so command here, I think you are able to see addDriver and whatever the driver name that you can add it. addDriver. Okay, so see here, once you add it, and if you go back and check the IntelliJ project, you will see that there is a memcache directory. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So this one, I will go to tool windows. Let me sync the Gradle so that it will set up the complete project. Okay. You could see that memcache, driver memcache is already existing. Are you able to see this project? Can somebody confirm?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So once you add this driver, now it is plugged into the SBK project. Now let's say let's build this. Okay. Let's build this. If you build this, it will actually include the driver compilation also into the SBK package. Okay. Let me make the executable also. Check is complete. Distribution, install distribution. Let's make the install distribution. And this driver will get listed into the SBK available drivers. Okay, so let's see that. Look at this. Okay, if you run the SBK, you will see that. Let's see whether memcache. See here, memcache is already added. Can you see this? Are you able to see the added driver, newly added driver?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So now let's say if you want to try out a benchmarking. Okay. See, it says that the template driver is okay, but driver is not defined. Operations are not defined. So now you have to define the exact operations for the memcache. How do you do that? I think up to here, it is a different process. Now it is a common, whether it is a manual or whether through template driver, it is the same thing. Build.gradle in the memcache driver memcache driver. The build.gradle, I've added a new command. Add your storage specific dependencies here. Your Gradle specific dependencies you have to add. For example, memcache the Gradle dependency. Okay, so somewhere you will find the Gradle dependencies, something like this. Spy memcache dnet are not this one. Not this one. I doubt spy memcache is not the one. Memcache. Okay, looks like maybe the one. Okay, looks like this is the one. Okay. So you will find a Gradle dependencies. You just have to search it over the internet so that you will find somewhere in the Maven repositories. it will be available. Yeah, this is the plugin. Okay. And if you see, this is the implementation. Gradle, you have to take this one, implementation group, and you have to copy, paste it over here. The finding out the package is also another one. But most of the time, generally, there won't be any issues. But issues arises if there are two products with this kind of a similar names. Otherwise, should not be a problem. But this seems fine. You can try out whichever the plugins which are available over here. So this is how you will add. The first thing is to access the memcache, you need their IO operations, their APIs to be available in this package. So how to add that? This is the way the adding this line will pull out the dependencies, add the required libraries into the SBK framework. This is the first step. Second one, if you go and see, there will be ready drivers will be available. Here, if you see that for memcache, if you want to add a new parameters, for example, -p, something cache level or something that you want to add, you can add by uncommenting this and adding the new parameters. Same thing, whether it is some Boolean or there is some integer value that you wanted to parse it, that you can take it in this method. And ultimately, if you don't have any other parameters, okay, you can just leave it as it is. All you have to do is just remove this, that it is the driver is, when you are defining the driver, better you remove this one. Otherwise, it will not allow you to invoke any other operations. Open the storage, close the storage. There will be a corresponding APIs in the memcache, which you have to add for opening up. Basically, it's a preliminary operation that you have to start accessing the storage. And of course, after all doing everything, read-write operation, you will close the storage. Similarly, how do you start the writer and reader? There is a template driver which is already available. For writer, all you have to define is how do you write? It could be a file or it could be some object, software defined object, whatever it is. We just have to define these methods. So wherever I am raising IO exceptions, all you have to do is fill those methods with the proper IO operations, read operations or write operations. And for any additional operations, if you want to take it into the driver, there is a configuration that you can add it. There's a new class where you can add the configuration parameter. As I mentioned before, that let's say you want to add a new parameter like cache level or cache name, a default name for a cache. So there could be some cache that you can add. This is how actually the template driver is. And moment when you do this, you will find that since this is a Git project, you will find that if you find that these two files are modified. These two are modified because it has been added. The compilation and everything is being taken care due to these two file modifications. If you go and see settings driver, I have added a new driver. This is automatically does. Okay, this one. And the build drivers, I have added to the full framework memcached. Because of these two steps, it gets compiled. Okay, and let's say you did something wrong and you want to remove it. You can remove this by deleting the driver, but you have to be extra cautious because it will remove the whole directory. If you have made some changes to these source files, you will lose all of them. So you really have to be very cautious because this complete directory will get deleted. So careful while deleting any driver. Okay, but however, this is for demo purpose. I will delete the driver, and I'll just want to show you that how it gets. What is the impact after that? Okay, if you see that moment, if you delete, this driver will go off. See? Okay, and moment if you delete it, All these entries are gone. Whatever added entries are gone. Okay. And now if you compile again, okay, now if you run it, you will see that this class is not identified at all in the package. It is not available. Storage class is not available. And even if you want to list it, if you just run it, you will see that in the available drivers, memcache is removed. Okay, so this is what I just wanted to demo it, because I know that many of you people are new to Java, so that I can help us out with this command. Just a command just adds everything. All you have to do is know your storage software, whether it is Accumulo or Memcached or JMS, whatever it is. Know the APIs for read-write APIs for that, and just invoke them into the SBK driver. So that from the SBK side, I try to minimize the development activity. All right, so let me stop the recording.